So yesterday, APRA announced some changes to their lending guidelines that are kicking in 2026, and it's been interesting to see the content that has come out from probably some of the more salesy people in the industry, effectively suggesting that these changes are going to massively reduce lending, and that if you want to be able to get into property, you need to do it now. Now, for those of you who don't know, the changes are basically coming in as of February 2026. Banks are only allowed to have 20% of their lending be categorized as high debt to income lending, which basically means only 20% of their loans they do moving forward can be the debt to income of higher than 6. And so put simply, if you've got a person on $100,000 of income, if they're borrowing up to $599,000, that's a debt to income of under 6 because they're borrowing less than $600,000, which is 6 times their income. If they're borrowing more than $600,000, that's a debt to income of higher than 6, and therefore classify into these higher risk parameters. And the banks can only have 20% of their books moving forward, of their lending moving forward, fall under this. And I've seen a lot of people out there saying, look, you better get in now because as of February next year, it's going to be so much harder to borrow. And it's been interesting seeing different subsets of the market say the same thing applies. So I've seen brokers and buyers agents who specialize in first home buying saying basically, if you're a first home buyer, you better get in now because, after February, you're going to be struggling. I've seen other people say, look, maybe not first home buyers, but if you're a property investor, which is what they specialize in, you're going to struggle to buy after February. And then I've seen other people say, look, maybe not for first home buyers, but if you are a medico trying to borrow as much as you can, which a lot of my clients do, then you won't be able to buy. So you better get in now. And pretty common theme that you better buy now. So I thought I'd go back and fact check this. So I took 3 scenarios that I've looked at. These are loans that I've settled in the last 2 months. And I looked at a first home buyer and the first home guarantee scheme on a low income or lower income. I looked at a medico specialist maxing out a 95% LVR loan and a sophisticated property investor expanding their portfolio. First home buyer, borrowing as much as she could, income of about $88,000, loan of about $430,000, and that was the most we could get her. That's a DTI of approximately 5, and that was the most we could get. And so 95% first home guarantee scheme, first home buyer, single income, all of the things that sort of make it more difficult, and well under 6 DTI. I looked at a medical specialist on a $400K income, buying a property at 95% for about $2 million. Again, well under 5 DTI, not even close to triggering this higher 6 times DTI. And then I looked at a property investor, 6 properties, household income of 500K plus obviously all the rental income. Quite a complex situation. Again, DTI was about 5.5. And so I think anyone saying that this is going to be a massive change to the market, as it is right now, is probably overstating things.